Evening out.
And we are here at the Gateshead Hilton with Mark CLAUZEL of Ringstar Promotions. He's got two of his fighters on Saturday night at Gateshead Leisure Centre. Lewis Scott, Bazzy Razak, how's everything going ahead of the show, Mark?
Yeah, prep's been fantastic for the guys, you know. Couldn't have went better, really. They're both on weight now. Also, this is the last week of the fight, so they're both on weight. They've adjusted to it well. Lewis fighting for his first title there, British Masters against Chris Pagan. Big step up in terms of the class for him, but you know, I'm more than confident with Lewis. And come Saturday night, more than confident that belt's going to come home and he's going to have that around his waist. It's what we want for the kid. You know?
His first title as a pro as well.
His first title as a pro, and to be honest with you, it's the type of fight that he's been wanting. You know, he's been saying, Mark, you know, let us off. I'll fight these guys. I'll beat him. I'm like, Lewis, I know he will, but we have to do it one step at a time. And you know, now's the right time for him stepping up there and having that fight.
But it's not just this fight, it's a matter of being prepared and preparing for the fights further down the line as well, because you've got to be careful not to advance too quickly.
Well, that's correct. I mean, what we don't want to do is we don't want to put Lewis in a position that we can't come back down from, and we've got to take fights that, I wouldn't say we're too far ahead from him, because to be honest with you, he can mix it up with anyone in the division at the moment. I know he can. But what I don't want to do is get him up there where we sort of stay stagnant because nobody wants to fight him, and he's not at that level where he becomes eligible for the bigger fights. So it's just about progressing with the right stages, and this is the right fight at the right time for him.
So it's his sixth fight?
Sixth fight, yeah.
So having a 10-rounder in your sixth fight, it is a bit of a advanced step, if you want to call it that.
It is. And he's prepared to go 10 hard rounds as well. You know, he's been training really hard. You guys have been on the gym, seen what they're like. And he understands. I mean, it's one of those things, is how long to keep him back on 4s and 6s. The kid's so far, you know, he's so much higher and more advanced than what he's fighting. It's not his fault he's miles ahead of him, he's years ahead of him, and what he's fighting, and he's knocking them all out. So why hold him back? Let's let him off the leash a little bit, and that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And see how he copes with it. I know how he's going to cope with it. He's going to be absolutely fine. He's lapping this up. He's relishing this opportunity. He's been better prepared and better mentally focused, just for the fact that he's fighting 10 rounds and he's fighting for a title. You know, he's ready to go now.
I've seen his actual, not just his physical development, I've seen his mental development over the last 8-10 months, where I remember he was fighting Gateshead earlier on in the year, and he had the butterflies and he was a little bit nervous, where now he just looks so much more assured mentally.
What it is, he's peaked mentally and physically now, and any person that's peaked physically and mentally is a dangerous fighter, and that's where he is now. He's been that way for about 10 years. He's in that zone now where he's at his peak fitness, he's on weight, he's eating well, he's strong physically and mentally. So that's what I'm saying, he's there, he's just ready now. It's just a tethering down, working on a few little things now, and then do the business on Saturday night.
You were saying before in the interview, he's absolutely hating his food at the minute, so he's going to be angry when he gets to the ring on Saturday, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, it's like anything, any fight that has to make sacrifices, you know, away from the family, cut out the luxuries that they might have in terms of the diet that they must have, and everything has to be down to the T. So it can be frustrating when you're around friends and family and they're able to eat what they want and have that sort of lavish, I can have this, I can drink now, and you've got to be, I can only have that, I've got to eat this, and be very specific with what it is and keep down with your fight with it. But all the hard work, it's all going to pay dividends on Saturday.
Yeah.
And he's not bothered. Lewis knows. He's even said after, he's not going to go on a binge and put up weight. He's going to stay keen because he feels better for it, and that's what he's actually understood now, is how important the diet side and the lifestyle is. And since James Watson came on board for him and has been doing his strength and conditioning and his nutrition, Lewis has really felt the benefits from it. So he's going to stick to it even after the fight. He's not going to blow up and go nuts at Christmas. He's going to enjoy himself, of course he is, but he's understood the importance of it now and he's going to stick to it.
And obviously Bazzy's on there as well. Obviously, you don't just manage Bazzy, you're obviously involved in the training side of things, and you've
obviously Giuseppe's his coach. I'm not his actual technical coach or pad coach, but in terms of if we've got sparring or we need to go do, I'm happy I'll just jump on board. If he needs someone to do his pads that day, whatever, I'm happy I'll jump in there with him and do it. And I'm always in the gym with Baz because he trains at my place, so I'll see him on a daily basis. And that kid's come on and leaps and bounds. And honestly, I'm very excited for him on Saturday night as well, because he's another one of these kids that he's such a hot prospect that in with Baz, bang, that's it. When he lands that shot, it can be over. He's got that speed and that power, and for a welterweight to carry so much, he's a one that he's going to be very dangerous as it goes on. He's going to be one that's hard to get matched. And a lot of British fighters at the levels that now don't want to fight him because they don't want to get stopped.
I've seen him doing some sparring with Lewis as well, and it's as well as giving it out. Baz looks like he can take a bit as well.
Yeah, Baz can take it. He's not shy. He's not going shy. He take a good whack and he'll just stay there and get on it. Don't get us wrong. Nobody wants to be. He understands the importance of not staying there and taking blows and absorbing it, because that's not what he wants. But he can take a good shot, Baz can, and Lewis can whack, and Lewis is whacking, and he comes off pretty well.
So obviously you don't know too far past Saturday with the lads. But what are your plans for them over the next couple of years in terms of, let's start with Lewis.
Start with Lewis is, over the course of the next, get this Saturday out of the way, as long as things go the way we expect them to go on Saturday, when he wins that title. I would like, at some point early next year, for him ideally I would love him to have an area title, because then that'll get him in sort of top 15, top 20 in the country. I just don't see that materialising, because he's the only light middleweight up here. The only one eligible sort of in and around the area would be Rick Skelton, but we've offered them that fight, and it's a fight they don't want. So I'm just going to draw a line.
Is he from Cumbria?
Yeah, he's from the Cumbria area, so he falls just within the jurisdiction of getting areas. So to be fair, that's fine. If they don't want that fight and they're going in another direction, that's absolutely fine. No problem at all. We'll just forget about that one and we'll move on. So this one is kind of.
But it cuts down the chances of actually having the.
It does, because I would have liked him to have that. I would have gotten a little bit higher in the British ratings. However, that makes no odds to me, because once this one's out of the way and he's done the 10 rounds, ideally get a defence of it, put a defence on in February, March time, and from that'll give him 2 good 10 rounds under his belt. From there we can start looking at how he's developed, how he's coped with the distance of fighting 10 rounds, and then how we move him on and where we go from there. And ideally by the end of next year I would like him to have fought for an English title and ideally won it.
And with regards to Baz,
so we come through Saturday. Again, it's his third, four rounder. He's only boxed 4 rounds in his whole pro career. So it's one of those where we need to see him get some rounds in. He's got to learn his trade. He's not going to learn anything going in there and knocking boys out in a round or 2. He's going to have to go in there against some more durable opponents. But the thing with Baz is, how fast do you step him up? So it's the right fight at the right time for him. And this is the right fight at the right time, stepping him up to this one.
Well, the guy's fighting on Saturday hasn't been stopped. He's had, I think, 7 fights, I think, and he's
7 fights,
he's actually drawn and won his last fight as well.
Yeah.
Speaking to Joe earlier on, he's expecting the 3rd round. He's doing his Muhammad Ali and calling the round. But
well, if Baz is everything right, then we could see a 3rd or 4th round stoppage. I'm not going to call it round. I know what he's been working on in training with Joe. And if it goes to plan, you'll get a stoppage. If it doesn't, I don't mind him getting the rounds in and learning. I'd rather he got rounds in. Stop him in the 4th round, that's fine, but I'd rather he got a few rounds under his belt rather than going and blasting them out in a round or 2. But again, it depends when he gets in there. Can this guy cope with his speed and cope with his power? I don't know. We'll find out on Saturday night.
Yeah. And obviously, apart from the 2 lads, what else is happening with Ringstar at the moment?
With Trevor Cruz back in the gym. Unfortunately, he had to go and work away in America for a few weeks. So unfortunately, we pulled him from the show. Just he couldn't train when he was out there, and he wasn't going to be on weight and fit. So there's no point in going in. I won't do that with the lads. Trevor will be back in the gym, and he'll be out after the new year. And the lads, like I say, just take it all over. Speaking of a few guys, looking at new talent as well. Maybe a few new signs after the new year. Maybe not. I don't know. It all depends. There's a few people we spoke to, a few interests. It depends. I don't want to take.
Be the right.
It's got to be the right. I don't just want to be honest with you, I don't want to take on too many people, because I just want to work with a close-knit team that we're doing now and build these guys up. If I've got 20 guys under us, I personally haven't got the time to handle it. So I don't want to do that.
You need to gradually build the foundations and then build upon them, I suppose. So that's brilliant. Well, in that case, Mark, I tell you, I'm looking forward to Saturday.
Me too.
I'll see you at ringside for sure.
Yeah.
And good luck for the lads as well.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, man.